Hello there, my Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for December 2020 and January 2021. We made it. Happy birthday coming up at Yule. Yay. Well, starting at Yule, my sun sign, my Capricorn sun signs. I am your reader, Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, fellow earth sign Virgo that I am, the Archangel of Lions. Markangelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. My friends do, and welcome back, my subscribers. Thank you so much for the ongoing love, support, loyalty, if you want to call it that. I don't know. You guys are like that. I love the slow and steady wins the race. You guys are helping me grow my channel. You know, us earth signs, we got to stick together. Really, really, really appreciate the love. And if you're new to my channel, hang out, see if this reading resonates for you. If something you like, oh, I like that, just hit the thumbs up button, please. I appreciate it. You want more of me, subscribe. You want to know when I'm doing stuff, hit the notification bell. And even if none of that appeals to you, if you feel like commenting, please do. I do enjoy reading the comments. Usually, and we've been getting some spam links, and I've decided rather than just reporting them, I am going to make fun of them. Then watch them stop, right? The word will get out. All right, let's get down to business. We're doing a 9-card spread. Work, career, vocation, 3 levels of power. Work, your survival, right? What you do to survive in the world. Your career, your passion, your thirst, your hunger, the thing that really, really drives you. And your vocation, your spiritual calling, right? We're going to look at this with 9 different cards. Well, I should say 9 card spread, 3 different decks. The Carolyn Myss archetype deck to look at, for instance, the chakric archetypes and soul powers being developed within you, right? The alchemy of it all. So root, sacrum, solar plexus will be your survival world, how you navigate the world with your power. This is about life purpose too, right? Your work in the world, your career, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, the stuff that, you know, that creative part of you, regardless of what form that may take in the physical world, and that 8th chakra, your vocation, your spiritual calling. So there's all sorts of different ways to look at this. There's actually a link called 3 Levels of Power, a lecture by Carolyn Myss. This is the Carolyn Myss archetype deck. As I said, once we get those 3 on the table, we'll be clarifying with 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the divine feminine aspect of everyone, like how you're experiencing this inside, so to speak, the stuff people might not know about, you might keep to yourself, more receptive. And then we'll take 3 mythic tarot to look at the divine masculine side of it, what it looks like in the outside world. So yin and yang. I mean, the masculine feminine thing is just so Western, but yeah, there you have it. It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. All the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. If you want to check out, there's some other cool links along the way. And if you want to book me, it's really easy. I mean, I have little links and stuff. All you got to do is find me on Facebook. Send me a message. Tell me you want a reading, and you can pay me, and we can do a video call, right? Well, maybe not right then and there, but booking it's way easier. But whatever. Let's do this. I'm going to be traveling. I'm getting this stuff done in advance. So I have no problem taking clients on the road, just going up to see family, Saratoga. We've all been quarantining for months, right? No contact with pretty much anybody, just so that we can see each other. Yeah, it's only going to be 4 of us. Looking forward to it. With kitties, new kitten brother. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Let's do this. Take a nice deep breath, stay in the present moment, and let's see what I can get for you. Here we go. Really, because career, I got to say, Capricorn, 10th house, that's career. Careers aren't made overnight. They could be destroyed overnight, but they cannot be made overnight. Reputation, right? The long, steady development of highest potential. Here we go. Let's see what we get for you. And here we go. I always wait for that connection. Well, both feet on the floor. Absolutely. I get it. Earth sign. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need 3 cards, 1 for work, 1 for career, 1 for vocation, for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. In their work, career, vocation, December 2020, January 2021. Root, sacrum, solar plexus, work, survival. What's the dominant archetype at play there? Their career, heart, third eye, and crown, their hunger, their thirst, their passion. What's going on there? What soul power needs alchemy? And in their 8th chakra, their vocation, their calling, their spiritual power, what's going on there? Let's take a look. I always like to remind people, or if you're new to the channel, and you will see why I say this, that particularly with these cards in my hands, that these cards are supposed to be triggering a little bit. A lot of it. It depends on the person and the situation that they are in, because they are neutral, meaning that they're not good or bad, but they're balanced, right? So the lead and the gold, the alchemy, the stuff you're working on, and the stuff where you're headed. And this is big deal stuff. I got to tell you right now, this feels very, very, I don't want to say, well, hello. Hi, baby. Won't you come lay down with mama? Come on, we have a little visitor. This is Milk. You are my youngest. 3 black cats. I'm a black cat advocate. Can't take more than 3 right now. 3 big, beefy boys. Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah, archetype. So as dark as the shadow may sound, the light is equally as bright and vice versa. At least he's purring. Go lay down. It's nowhere near their dinner time. Don't fall for it, Capricorns. Go on, go lay down, sweetheart. Go. Whole couch, whole gigantic couch sectional. By the way, do you like my setup? My lower back has been giving me some problems. So this is my comfy working couch throw. It's a huge sectional. I'm in the corner. I'm really digging it anyway. So yeah, and as bright as it may sound, is just as dark as the shadow. So here we go. Buckle up. You have a survival family archetype in the survival part of the reading your work. You've got the wounded child archetype. Now look, here's the thing. Everybody has the child archetype. I would say a lot of people. I would say the majority of people probably have the wounded child archetype, or being, it is what it is. Let me read you the shadow and the light, and then you can feel it out for yourself. And if you're like, nope, that's not me, then that's fine. And this is not your read, and I apologize. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. The shadow attribute of the wounded child archetype blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Been there, done that. Have the ripped t-shirt. Resists moving on through forgiveness. It's a little hard to see, as you can see even in this lighting. It's like, I can't, it's teeny tiny writing. But the light attribute that you are shooting for, and this makes sense, like if your wounded child is being activated, how could it not be? The child archetype, regardless of the sub-paradigm, right? Whether it's the orphan child, the wounded child, the magical child, the orphan, that's what I say, the orphan twice I would, the eternal child, the divine child, doesn't matter, the nature child. It's the archetype that holds the power of our ability to survive, in the sense of the innocence of the child and feeling safe, the guardian of innocence and safety. And if the child feels safe, it's up for everything. It's innocent, it's ready. But if it's not, if it doesn't feel safe, it cowers and it acts out of pain. All right. So you get that part of the shadow side of that. The light attribute awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. And for some of you, that might be literal, like that might literally be working with children. Now, keep in mind the definition of children is from birth to legal age, wherever it is that you are. So we're looking at adolescents here too. It's not just toddlers. It's not just, Rugrats. Sorry, I just totally had a Rugrats flashback. Angelica opens the learning path of forgiveness. So there you go. So that means that there might be something going on in your literal physical world, December, January, in terms of your work that might challenge wounds from your childhood, might bring it up. I mean, it is the holidays. It's not a big shock to me that that would happen for anybody. And plus, when is this archetype ever not in play? For what, the past couple of hundred millennia? I mean, really? So that's a very interesting start. But slow and steady wins the race. In your career, you see, you got the Martyr. Here's another one that sounds horrible, but the shadow side of it is, I'll give you that, addiction to self-pity. We all know those people, and we all go there. Having the Martyr archetype is different than just martyring after a bad day, right? It's fine. In your career, sometimes you have to what? Do the light attribute. Learn the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And yes, there can be suffering in that. The martyr is a divine family archetype. Let's start there with that. We're really looking at Jesus, Moses, Abraham, Muhammad, right? They just kind of gave up everything. Moses is going to be Pharaoh, right? Just gave up everything to that kind of cause. Now, we could take that into throughout history and even into today, right? Stuff that's going on in terms of social justice and just all of that. This can be such an empowering thing. But then when you go, if this is you and you know, but you don't talk about it, right? Then know that it's in your quietest moments when you feel like you are the only one doing the work, Capricorn, and I am an earth sign, I understand. That's when that child in you, this wounded child, needs to be heard, where it's like, I just feel like I'm doing this, and you give yourself that love, understanding that as you heal this, you are empowering yourself. You are alchemizing lead to gold, lead, an insulator that keeps energy from moving, right? Isolator, insulator to gold, a conductor, and a high, powerful conductor gold. That's why it's in our cell phones and our stuff, right? Our stuff, you know what I mean? Our technology. Very, very powerful here. Huge opportunity for healing here. If this was a different kind of read, right? But here's the part that really cinches it for me, for you, I should say. You know, the Avenger. Right? It's like Hawkeye and Tony and all of them. Oh, Bruce Banner. Oh my God, especially the MCU version. I just have flashbacks from that flight attendant movie, Mark Ruffalo. Sorry, I'm back. Right? The Avenger archetype. This is an action family archetype. So you've got a survival family archetype, a divine family archetype, and an action family archetype. The shadow, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Now, this is 8th chakra, so the chances of that, I'm going to say, unless it's like spiritual violence, I don't think you can get away with that in the 8th chakra. I think that's, pretty much the 7 if you want to go there. But the light attribute, catch this, desire to balance the scales of justice, particularly if you're dealing with wounded children yourself, somebody else's. Righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. This is very second wave, divine masculine, social justice, warrior vibe, Avenger. Just watch the shadow on it. Now this came up for another one. Gemini had this. I just turned I've been having trouble finding them on my list because the lighting has changed throughout the day and I forget to move the clipboard. But that does make sense. This does make sense, right? So this calling of an Avenger with this career as a martyr. Now, I know that sounds horrible, but I don't mean, like, really look at it in the light. It's like, no matter what it takes, it can be service to yourself as well. Like, really, I have to say, being self-employed, how can you not, right? If that's your career and if your work in the world, right, you're feeling like a wounded child or you're dealing with wounded children, right, that there's something about forgiveness here in the physical world. And by the way, with the economy the way it is, does that child feel safe? Probably not, right? From wounds from childhood that need to be forgiven. And of course, it's going to affect your income, right? It's just holistic healing. This is a holistic healing read for work, career, vocation. You're looking at the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, right? They like Russian Doll, the Netflix series. That's exactly what I mean. Okay, that's the soul patterns going on. Let's do Daughters of the Moon. Oh, I'm psyched. I can sit back for this too. Oh, I have a lot of pillows, Capricorn. I'm sure you can relate. Pillows are important. Breathe. Oh, my goddesses, my divine feminine, the divine yin, the yin force, whatever you want to call it, please. 3 cards, 1 card each. Work, career, vocation. For my beloved Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their work, career, vocation, December 2020 and January 2021. Please, I've got the wounded child archetype, first 3 chakras, their work, how they survive. What is their internal experience of that? They've got the martyr, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And I do feel there is there is a steam in this, like the light side of this is that transcendence, almost like how they're leading with the heart on this card. It's like my rib cage wants to kind of do that, like there's courage in this, which makes sense. Heart, throat, third eye, and crown. So please, what is their experience of that? Please just leave the card in my hand. Is that one? That feels like two. That's the one. And please, my beloved goddess, Persephone, you got the Avenger here in the 8th chakra. Their vocation, their calling, that justice to balance the scales, that action, taking action, but it's from a spiritual, 5th dimensional, higher self place. Please, what is their experience of this in their vocation, December 2020 in January 2021? All right, here we go. I want to look. Okay, well, lovely. The wounded child has the card of play, so that's good. This might very well be you enjoying yourself, somewhat balancing the element of fire within yourself. Now, the third set of cards down, right? The Mythic Tarot will show the outside. But inside, there is some enjoyment here, a balance of fire, right? Having that creative energy and rolling along, playing, like going along. Balance. 6s are all about that balance. 2 3s, right? 2 tripods, really holding something in place. And this is Bastet, Egyptian solar cat goddess. I mean, fierce but fun. Well, and then there's Sekhmet, which is different vibe entirely. But I love this. This feels, it feels warm. And it feels like if you are doing work with wounded children, that there is a lot of fun and creativity for it inside of yourself, but in the physical world, not just the internal creativity, the external as well. Let's look at that internal. You got the Martyr with the 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups on the inner says that you really are going deeper in and higher up. So I'm going to say in terms of this service to oneself, like you could either just be withdrawing, but if it was withdrawing purely from the outside world, that would be in the next set of cards that haven't hit the table yet. This Ace of Cups to me, 8 of Cups is not about walking away from something most of the time. It's walking toward. And this feels like walking in. So look at how the two are facing each other, right? They're sort of like coming at each other in that she's going within. A woman took a boat and a torch. How do you row with a torch? That's got to be tricky. To an island following this trail of cups. And yes, some of them are spilled over. This can be deep emotional work going on in terms of your heart, throat, third eye, and crown. But in service to, and maybe dealing with the self-pity, because look, and let's not forget, this is exactly what they popped into my head right now. What about the empathic piece? What if you, like, earth signs are empathic, but we can be very physically empathic because we're earth signs. Like if your feet are on the floor and someone 10 feet away stomps their foot, right? And you feel, it's like very earthbender, gotta say. It's just very earthbender. It's very earthbender. So, you might be picking up on other people's stuff too. It depends on what you do for your career. Like if you're on your feet all day, and that's your career, not just your work, your passion, and all that stuff, as much as you love it, it might be this thing, yes, I'm suffering from my work, but I don't care. I love these people, and there's a transcendent thing, like I'm helping people. Like I haven't had my hair cut since New Year's Eve. You can tell. I mean, I've trimmed a little here and there, but I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready to get up in my face. I don't know you. I have friends who will do it, but they're doing it already. I'm like, you're not coming in my house and doing it again on your days, on your time off. I refuse. It's like somebody inviting me over and say, oh, by the way, did you bring your cards with you? I'm like, thanks. If you're a reader, you know what I mean. No, I left them at home on purpose. You've got the trickster here with the Avenger. Sweetheart, I got to tell you the vibe on this. I didn't blow my hair back, but with this playfulness here, this do make sense. This is half of the devil card, and because it's matriarchal, not a patriarchal deck, so they don't use the idea of the devil as that kind of masculine vibe. But here we're looking at Coyote Woman. I mean, this is like the trickster of the Native American totemic pantheon, if you want to put it in that language, right? So this might be you being a little covert, a little sneaky, but it's major arcana, and it's the only major arcana you got so far of these 3. We'll see what comes in the next 3. But this is maybe having to be a little bit discreet in order to get your work done, in order for your vocation to click in, your calling. That your calling here might very well be about going in disguise or finding a trick or getting that there is a spiritual setup here that is helping you refine this Avenger power spiritually. Now, how would one activate and use a calling with a desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself? Oh, I just realized, learning a transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. It's essentially saying the same thing in both of them, right? So to bring yourself into balance, your own justice, maybe something that you've been tricked into doing, but I don't, that would be more down here if it was that kind of sneaky. I really feel like that there is a setup, that the divine plan is laid out in a way where you had to go, 2 wrongs don't make a right, 3 lefts do, right? So instead of making 1 right-hand turn, they made you take the long way around in order to really teach you something about justice here and righteousness and how to take action. So you may not take this action yet. It's still formulating up here. You're still learning. It is a spiritual lesson, and it is a major arcana. Don't kid yourself. It's very interesting. I really like this spread for you. Like, I get the 8 of Cups. I don't feel like that's a depressive card. I feel like, no, I'm going in myself to kind of deal with what is the pain and the suffering of the lead martyr. This is huge, because as you alchemize that, in other words, you let that wounded child just wail. You just don't let it drive, right? You don't let it take over the conversation. So much of shadow work is inner child work. I just wish people would get that. It just is. Breathe. Here we go. My gods of Capricorn and the sign, and the element of earth, please. I need 3 cards in clarity. The divine masculine, the divine yang force. What does this look like for my Capricorn collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs of their work, career, vocation, December 2020 and January 2021. Please, they've got the wounded child with the card of play, Bastet, the 6 of flames, the 6 of wands, often called the victory card. In this deck, the 7 of flames is the victory card. So we're keeping it playful. We're playing the game here. That wounded child, it does feel good. Please, what does this look like on the outside? In which, by the way, they're just reiterating that it can mean something that's going on outside of you, or how you appear from the outside sometimes can be both, if the mirrors are sort of aligned in that way. Please, my gods, for this martyr archetype, which is a divine family archetype, and that they've got a action family in their 8th chakra, is very interesting to me. There's a connection there. Please, with that 8 of Cups, withdrawal. What does that look like on the outside? Yeah, man, I get the indecision of this back and forth on this. Of course, because they have to take some kind of action. So let's look at that. Please clarify. The Avenger archetype, spiritual power, 8th chakra, the coyote woman, the trickster on the inner. What's on the outer? All right, last 3 cards down. Let's see who and what we are dealing with. Okay, well, once again, in these readings, the major arcana have stayed in the same lane, so to speak, but we will get there. You've got the 3 of Pentacles on the outer. Nice solid foundation here. Like your wounded child, if it's not feeling safe, talk to it, right? And say, honey, we're helping other people. You are helping other wounded children. And you have a solid foundation to do it. And this is in the literal physical world. Like whatever that is, look around you. 3 of Pentacles to me is, another way to say it is, because again, a solid foundation, something you can build upon, collaboration. But metaphorically to me, it's like having a well-stocked kitchen, right? It's like, it's all food, but raw flour ain't necessarily something you want to eat, right? So you got to blend it with this and do it with this. Like you have everything. You've got the stove. You've got everything that you need to make whatever you want, right? But that doesn't mean the work. You have the solid foundation to then begin. And this feels really playful. Whatever this is, please comment. If this is like, oh my God, I'm in childcare and I work with children, oh my God, that's so great. Please, I want to hear that. That delights me, that I could bring some clarity to something that would serve that. But we're all in this together. Whatever skills we have, contribute, right? So you've got this martyr with this withdrawal with the Queen of Cups, the Scorpio card. This is Helena Troy. This is Helena Troy, most beautiful woman in the world, right? Started a war. Well, wasn't really her fault. Paris, the hero, not the city, just to clarify. This is a Scorpio card. This kind of feels more like it's you from the outside looking in, is that you're not letting on. You're not letting on, like, because you're Capricorn, you martyr. Come on, it's Capricorn. It's Saturn, right? It's the planet of limitations and boundaries and time, right? So I can feel that. Make sure you are loving that child, because the connection between, like, the martyr and the child can have a lot in common, even if they're, well, they are separate archetypes, but even if they're interactive with each other in any way, alchemically, like, they can share a lot of similar pain. Well, and certainly you have a huge opportunity here with that to really go deep on your intuition and just follow your heart on this. Do that healing, because as you alchemize that, the transcendent nature, now transcendent, like transformation, transmutation, right? This feels psychological, sure, but it's your element. It's that Saturnian thing of, all right, what's the work that I have to do? Not so much the element of water, but that element of cardinal earth, creative earth, Capricorn. Digging it. You got the Avenger with the coyote woman. Well, why not? Let's put Aries in a chariot for you there. That this is gonna move quick. Whatever this is, there's some kind of inspiration, motivation pulling you forward, and that makes sense for the 8th chakra. 8th chakra really is the soul, right? If you want to call it that, soul, the higher self, pick your word, the transpersonal self, the Christ self, the Buddha self, the goddess self, whatever you want to call it, right? Zan, Jaina, Fred, Wilma, Thor, Wonder Woman, whoever. Well, she's the goddess. Let's give credit where credit is due, right? And then it's so that it drops down information. Inspiration, information, choice, emotion, guts, right? Will, will you have the guts, the courage to do it? The 2nd chakra, balance of time and money and allocation, and boom, hits that root chakra and it manifests. That's what we're looking at here. It's going to go fast, but you're probably sorting out whether, and here's the thing with the dark horse and the light horse. The dark horse is motivation, the light horse is inspiration, and we need both of them still. Right? It's like today, I was like, oh, I'm really, really psyched to do the readings today. And my back is like, oh, are you kidding me? It's like, well, we got to get it done. Because if we get it done, then when we go to Saratoga to see the family, we can have all of these done in time. So you really want to, so you see the balance, how you kind of emotionally, I mean, it is the sign of Cancer associated with this card. So you got some water going on here, but also understand that there might be a trick in what you're feeling inside of yourself. Like you might not have all the information, not like the card of the moon where things are cloudy. And you would have gotten the Hangman if it was about really seeing it differently and taking a pause. No, this is moving forward. This is an intuitive push. Just be very, very careful about the violent part of this, right? Because you might have some information that a trick is being played on you so that you confront what you have to confront in your heart, third eye, and crown. But I also feel like with this playfulness here of this wounded child, right? I mean, if this is about child abuse in any way, shape, or form, then what you are healing here, regardless of what chakra, what level of power, because of the quantum entanglement of unity consciousness, which is a little bit of a contradiction, because how can something that's in unity be entangled? It's all one thing, but you know what I'm saying. Because of that, whatever you heal here, you are healing for all of life, right? Or at least all of humanity. That's a lot. There is a lot going on here. So I just gave it to you from root to 8th. Let me give you the blessing from 8 to root. Take a nice deep breath. May the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, December 2020 and January 2021, that they may experience the highest refined Avenger archetype in their spiritual power, with their desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or themselves, dealing with whatever subterfuge trick that's going on divinely in their life. There may be veils, there may be tricks, But regardless, there is inspiration and motivation in there. This is a mysterious chakra, the 8th chakra, so may they take this slowly and surely, really avoiding the violence in the name of a cause. So that the self-pity within them that everybody has may be alchemized into learning the transcendent nature of service to themselves and a cause. As they pull back from the world, perhaps being a bit veiled, going deeper, withdrawing into their own emotional alchemy, so that the wounded child in their physical world, in their work, in their survival, can really experience this solid foundation, a good beginning, maybe even collaboration with others that is fun and playful and creative and healing and warm, and helping them develop their highest potential on their path all the way home. So mote it be. So it is. Different ending in the prayer than usual, but that's what happens when you're a mystic. They don't do it the same way every time. You can never step in the same river twice. Don't discuss that with a literalist. It's not a good one. Anyway, if there was something, my darlings, that you saw here that you liked, like I said, just hit the thumbs up. It helps. Just helps other people. It's just an algorithm. It's impersonal. When I watch a reading, another reader, and it's like, even if it doesn't look like, fine. It's like, it's not me. Bless you. May who's meant to find it, find it. All right. Good karma. Great. Facebook thumb karma. I'm fine with that. And if you want more, you know how to do it. Subscribe. You want to know when? Hit the notification bell and comment if you so choose. I will reply as soon as possible, which sometimes takes days, because that's just how it rolls here at Drawing the Circle Productions when you're the Archangel of Lyons, Markangela Lyons, Mel for short. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, and vocation, December 2020, and my God, January 2021. Hell. Farewell, and blessed be.